Welcome to Hot Zone Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The world watched as a small Philippine supply boat collided with a massive Chinese Coast Guard ship in the South China Sea. Tensions soared as ships danced dangerously close, power against resistance. Filipino sailors stood their ground, refusing to yield. The world watched as the South China Sea became a flashpoint for sovereignty and defiance. July 26, 2025, a routine resupply to the BRP Sierra Madre turned into a high-stakes standoff. The Unaiza May 4, escorted by the BRP Cabra, carried food and water for Marines stationed on the rusting outpost. In these contested waters, even a simple delivery is an act of defiance. As the convoy neared 2nd Thomas Shoal, Chinese Coast Guard ships appeared, larger and more numerous. Their intent was clear-block the Philippine vessels. Aggressive maneuvers followed. Chinese ships cut across bows, shadowed the supply boat, and issued radio warnings. The Filipino captains refused to back down, asserting their right to be there. Suddenly, a Chinese ship unleashed water cannons, shattering windows and damaging equipment. The Filipino crew scrambled for cover but pressed on. The BRP Cabra shielded the supply boat, but the size difference was stark. Despite the chaos, the Filipinos navigated the blockade with skill and courage. The mission was only partially successful. Some supplies lost, but the shoal was reached. The confrontation lasted hours, a vivid display of the risks Filipino sailors face. They are on the front lines, armed with little more than resolve and duty. Each mission is a test of nerve, a symbol of sovereignty. The world saw the Philippines' determination in the face of overwhelming odds. The message was clear: the Philippines would not be deterred. The struggle for the South China Sea was no longer hidden. It was now a battle fought in the open, with the world as witness. The Filipino sailors had once again proven their nation's resolve. These confrontations are now routine in the South China Sea. Every resupply mission to 2nd Thomas Shoal is a potential flashpoint. China's Coast Guard and Maritime militia use constant pressure, shadowing, water cannons, even collisions. For Filipino sailors, each mission is a test of nerve and resilience. These are not just logistical runs. They are acts of defiance. Each voyage asserts Philippine sovereignty and signals to Beijing and the world: Manila will not abandon its territory. The courage of these sailors has become a source of national pride. The risks are real. Water cannons can injure. Aggressive maneuvers can be fatal. The psychological toll is heavy, but the missions continue. The world now sees China's bullying tactics thanks to raw footage from these encounters. The Philippines is no longer just a claimant, it's a nation defending its rights. Each mission reinforces this narrative, turning danger into a symbol of resolve. The conflict is no longer abstract, it's visible, ongoing, and personal. The Philippines' resistance has transformed the nature of the dispute. The world is watching, and opinions are shifting. The struggle is now about more than territory. It's about standing up to a superpower. Every voyage is a victory for Philippine resolve. The dangerous dance continues, but so does the fight for sovereignty. The world reacted swiftly to the July 26 confrontation. The U.S. condemned China's actions, reaffirming its defense treaty with the Philippines. Japan, Australia, the UK, and the EU echoed calls for China to respect international law. The 2016 Arbitral Tribunal ruling, which invalidated China's sweeping claims, was cited repeatedly. China, in turn, accused the Philippines of provocation, but video evidence told a different story. The images of a giant Chinese ship blasting a small wooden boat undermined Beijing's narrative. Diplomacy took center stage, with ASEAN under pressure to act. Calls for a binding code of conduct grew louder, but progress remained slow. The confrontation injected new urgency into regional diplomacy. The world realized that without clear rules, the risk of conflict would only grow. The Philippines' strategy of transparency was working. Global opinion was shifting. The South China Sea dispute was now a test of international order. The stakes had never been higher. China's tactics in the South China Sea are classic gray zone warfare: harassment and intimidation without open conflict. Coast Guard and maritime militia vessels swarm, block, and pressure, hoping to wear down Philippine resolve. The goal forced the Philippines to abandon its outposts and fishing grounds. Responding with warships risks escalation, so Manila has adopted a smarter approach. Under President Marcos Jr., the Philippines relies on transparency, international law, and alliances. Journalists are embedded on patrols, documenting every incident. Footage is released to the world, exposing China's bullying and shifting the narrative. This assertive transparency has galvanized international support and national unity. The Philippines is no longer fighting in the shadows, it's fighting in the open. The world sees the truth, and China's denials ring hollow. Manila's strategy is a model for small nations facing big threats. The battle is now fought in the court of world opinion. A smaller nation is proving it can push back against a superpower. At the heart of the conflict is China's 9-dash line, claiming nearly the entire South China Sea. This sweeping claim overlaps with the exclusive economic zones of the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. China's justification, historical rights, lacks clear legal basis and is rejected by most of the world. To enforce its claim, China built artificial islands, militarizing the Spratlys with runways, harbors, and missiles. These outposts project power across the sea, turning it into a de facto Chinese lake. In 2013, the Philippines challenged China at The Hague. The 2016 tribunal ruling sided with Manila, declaring China's claims illegal. China ignored the verdict, calling it a farce. Under President Duterte, the Philippines downplayed the ruling, seeking economic ties with Beijing. This approach was widely criticized and failed to deliver promised benefits. China consolidated control, and the Philippines' position weakened. The missed opportunity underscored the need for a firmer stance. The legal victory remained, waiting for a leader willing to use it. President Marcos Jr. shifted Philippine policy, embracing assertive transparency. The government began documenting and publicizing every Chinese incursion. Journalists joined patrols, cameras captured every dangerous maneuver. Footage was released quickly, controlling the narrative and exposing China's actions. This strategy rallied the Filipino people, turning abstract disputes into personal stories of heroism. Public support for a tougher stance soared. Internationally, the campaign made it clear who the aggressor was. Allies like the US, Japan, and Australia found it easier to support the Philippines. Marcos used global forums to frame the dispute as a fight for the rule of law. The world saw the Philippines not just as a claimant but as a defender of a free and open Indo-Pacific. Transparency became Manila's most effective weapon. The information war was being won. The BRP Sierra Madre is more than a ship. It's a symbol of Philippine resilience. Intentionally grounded in 1999, it serves as a permanent outpost on 2nd Thomas Shoal. Life aboard is harsh rust, isolation, and constant threat. Yet the Marines stationed there endure, knowing their presence blocks China's advance. Resupply missions are lifelines, bringing essentials and hope. Despite blockades and pressure, morale remains high. The Sierra Madre is a line in the sea the Philippines refuses to yield. China demands its removal, but for Manila it's non-negotiable. The ship's symbolic power far outweighs its physical state. It stands as a testament to Philippine resolve. The world sees it as a beacon of resistance. The standoff at the Sierra Madre is the heart of the dispute. The message: the Philippines will not be intimidated. Revitalizing the U.S. alliance is central to the Philippines' new strategy. The Mutual Defense Treaty and expanded base access have shifted the regional balance. U.S.-Philippine joint patrols and large-scale exercises send a clear signal to Beijing. The Philippines is also modernizing its military, acquiring BrahMos missiles and other advanced systems. Chinese vessels now face real risks operating in Philippine waters. The U.S. Army's Typhoon missile system, even temporarily deployed, demonstrated new deterrent power. The Philippines is no longer defenseless. A stronger alliance and modern weapons are transforming its defense posture. The message: aggression will have consequences. The shield of credible deterrence is in place. The Philippines stands ready, not alone. The balance of power is shifting. The Philippines' stand is inspiring Southeast Asia. Other nations, once hesitant, now see a blueprint for resisting Chinese pressure. Manila's strategy, transparency, law, alliances, has regionalized the issue. Unity among Southeast Asian nations is growing. Vietnam and others are watching closely, recognizing shared stakes. The South China Sea's security is vital for global trade and stability. The Philippines is defending not just territory, but the rules-based order. Ordinary sailors and Coast Guard personnel are now national heroes. Their courage embodies the nation's spirit. The struggle is about more than rocks and reefs. It's about the future. The Philippines has chosen to fight for sovereignty and freedom. Its defiance is a beacon for the region. The battle for a free sea continues, led by those on the front lines.